Hi everyone, welcome to social studies class for this week. I hope you had a great weekend and I'm excited that you're watching this video. I'm gonna share my screen and we'll take a look at this week's playlist. Okay, so you should notice in your Google Drive that Ms. K and I both made folders for your playlists, and we put the playlist for the rest of the year in there. So this week we are on week 4. So you'll open that up. You can see it looks the same pretty much. So you'll continue to do your zones of regulation check-in, and then log on to Newsela for today. Follow along with this video. You should have a new article in there. It's titled Ancient Greece, the First Greeks. So we're going to read that in just a minute. And then, as usual, you'll do a social studies visual activity today and complete one of your bingo activities. And yeah, just make sure that you let me and Ms. K know whenever you finish those up, and we'll schedule a Zoom meeting with you on Friday. Okay, then for your May do, there's a workout for today. You can watch one of the YouTube lessons. There's a bunch of videos of your teachers doing different bingo activities or chores around the house, so you can watch those, complete an extra bingo activity, do another visual activity, or send me a video or picture, or you can upload it to your drive and I'll see it there the next time I'm in there. All right, and then as usual, if you have any questions, feel free to schedule a Zoom call with me during my office hours and we can talk about whatever you have questions about. Okay, before we read, stop sharing my screen for a moment. I wanted us to take a minute to do another one of our breathing exercises that we do in class sometimes. I think last week we did snake breath. So this week I wanted us to do our bee breath. That's where we breathe in and then we buzz like a bee when we breathe out. So we go in. It's kind of silly. So let's do 3 of those together. Follow along with me. Let's go in and out. Kind of makes me laugh. Let's do 2 more. In and out. 1 more. In and out. All right. Thanks for being silly with me. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again, and then we will go to Newsela. So go ahead and pull up your Newsela account with me. And this week we are learning about ancient Greece, the first Greeks. That's what this article is called. So it should be there in your assignments. And if you want to read it on your own, feel free to pause this video. Just make sure that you do the activities on the side. And yeah, we will get right to it. Okay. So it says, the Greece of long ago is called ancient Greece. You should see that word ancient underlined. So I'm going to click on that. And it says ancient. If something is ancient, it is extremely old or connected to a long time ago. And you can click. Got it. Ancient Greeks lived more than 2,000 years ago. So just like it said, a long time ago, or something really old. Many ideas from ancient Greece are still important today. These ideas shaped our world. The ancient Greeks invented democracy. So you can see the word invented is underlined, so I'm going to click on that too. Invented. When something is invented, it is made from someone's new idea. Got it. They helped develop math. I'm going to click on develop. Develop. When you develop something, you work on it slowly to make it better and better. They even held the first Olympic Games. The ancient Greeks were very curious. They wanted to know how the world works. To find out, they turned to math and science. As humans were the center of everything. The ancient Greeks thought humans were very important. They celebrated humans in their stories. The Greeks even made their gods look like humans. These gods had human feelings. They became jealous and angry. Which zone would that be? If they're angry, they'd be in the red zone. All right, sometimes they were cruel. Cruel is underlined, so I'm going to click that. Someone who is cruel does not care about people and only wants to hurt them. Got it. Sometimes they were kind. They were not perfect gods. And I think in Miss K's class later this week, you'll be reading about one of the Greek gods. All right, this says Greeks invented democracy. The Greeks invented democracy. This is a kind of government where the people rule. I'm going to click on the word government. A government is a group of people who make the laws and control what happens in a country, state, county, or city. Got it? It is different from being ruled by a king. In a democracy, people make decisions together. They meet to talk about laws. Then they vote on the laws. This is how they decide which laws to put into place. At the time, democracy was a new idea. Today, there are many democracies in the world. They're based on Greek democracy. So let's take a look at this photo. It says the pinks is a hill in Athens. The ancient Greeks would gather there to hold democratic gatherings. It is one of the most important sites in the creation of democracy. Very neat. All right, the Minoan traders. Before the ancient Greeks, there were two groups. One was the Minoans, the other was the Mycenaeans. The Minoans lived on the island of Crete. This is the largest of the Greek islands. Minoans lived there more than 3,500 years ago. They were traders who sailed the seas. The Mycenaeans bring battle. Let's take a look at this photo. This says it's a wall painting from a Minoan settlement that shows the Minoan trading ships. The settlement dates back to 3200 BC. That was more than 5,000 years ago. That's an ancient painting. Okay, let's keep reading. It says the Mycenaeans first came from India. They traveled through the Middle East. From there, they moved into Greece. They lived in Greece about 4,000 years ago. Over time, both the Minoans and the Mycenaeans expanded. They took over new land. Eventually, the two groups ran into each other. A battle began. Okay, it says, not much known about the Dark Age. The Mycenaeans destroyed the Minoans. Later, a group called the Dorians destroyed the Mycenaeans. This led to a Dark Age. It lasted a few hundred years. Historians do not know much about this time. Later, a new group appeared. They began to build a new civilization. It was the ancient Greeks. During this time, the Greeks came up with many important ideas. These ideas would shape the world for the next 2,500 years. Awesome. Thank you so much for following along with me. If you are not in Newsela, go ahead and pull that up and then go to the ancient Greek article and make sure you complete the activities here on the side. And I can't wait to see your answers. Thank you so much for following along, and I'll post a new video next week. Bye.